Now we're going to show you a way to reverse the position to get from the bottom of the half guard to the top. And in fact, we're going to use a submission to set up that sweep. It's not really a sweep by itself, but we're reversing our opponent by applying pressure with the Kimura lock. So it's an excellent position. I'm going to start inside the half guard here. I'm on the bottom. And now, whenever I'm finding from the half guard here, I don't want my back flat on the mat. I always want to move my hips away, trying to get to the side here. Because now it's a better position for me. I have more movement. So I always need to be on my side. And now I'm going to start looking for an arm control here. So pummel, if you possible. Now you can see that he's not letting me pummel here. So I need to control the opposite wrist. Since I cannot pummel, make sure you control the wrist, not with a thumb around, but 5 fingers here. So a cup in your hand there on top of the wrist. Now I'm going to go around all the way with my left arm, and I'm going to start closing the lock here. I'm going to start finishing the Kimura. Once I get the Kimura position here, I'm going to start cranking. And once I start cranking, I start falling back and turning to the opposite side, towards his head. So I move his wrist towards the back of his head. Now, if he doesn't move, he's going to tap right away. So chances are, he's going to roll under, and I'm going to be able to sweep him with a position. So if he doesn't roll, that's fine. If he doesn't roll, I'm going to get the tap. So chances are, once I start applying the pressure here, you can see that my opponent will roll over, and I'm going to get the top position. Now, I'm not going to let go of this Kimura lock here because I worked hard to get it. So I'm going to maintain that position. I'm going to throw my leg over his head. So I'm using my left leg there over his head. That gives me extra control so I can start twisting it around to get the tap. Now, my opponent might try to defend by extending the arm. If he does that, I just redirect the power to get the tap. You can see that I'm controlling his head here. Once I land on the top, I want to throw the leg over to control the head. Now it gives me a better angle to pull his shoulder off the ground and crank. If he tries to stretch the arm, I just redirect the pressure there with my right hand and get the tap. If he doesn't, I pull the shoulder up and bring his wrist up. If he defends, always redirect it, get the submission. Once again, let's see it. I'm working from the bottom, from the half guard position here. Now, I'm always sideways. I'm always looking for the pummeling position. This time, though, my opponent didn't let me pummel. So I'm going to control the wrist here. Always 5 fingers. Using a cup and grip. I don't want you to use your thumb here. Just 5 fingers on one side. Now, I'm going to go over the top with my left arm here. Gluing my armpit to his shoulder. And I reach for my wrist. Once I get control of the wrist, I can start cranking the position. And I'm going to crank it by pulling it back. I'm going to pull his wrist towards the back of his neck. As you can see, he's going to roll before he taps. There's no way he's not going to roll here. And I maintain this solid position. I'm not going to let go of the Kimura once I land on top. I throw the leg over his head to keep him down. I raise his shoulder off the ground, and I apply pressure. Chances are he might try to defend here by extending the arm. That's fine. I redirect my leverage here. So let's see it again. Now I'm going to do it on my own so you can observe the details. I control the wrist, and always remember, whenever I go for that wrist control, I want to use 5 fingers. Don't use your thumb, because 5 fingers will let you use more power there. Now come over the top with the opposite arm, control your own wrist. Now I'm going to start moving his wrist towards the back of his head. So I'm right here, and as I start twisting around, I'm going to bring my knees around so I come to the top position. Now, don't let go. Throw the leg over his head. You get a controlling position where you can submit. If he does extend his arm, that's fine. I just redirect the pressure. It's a key that you can really use well from the bottom, and you can reverse your opponent at the same time and even get a submission if you get lucky.